Hello, you're listening to Abstract AF, and in this episode, I'm going to talk about the 2019 animated Indian film Bombay Rose, which is now available to stream on Netflix. Directed by Gitanjali Rao, this film is an ode to Bollywood cinema. Because despite not being your typical Indian film, it does fall for the trappings of a regular Hindi film.
I'll make life a living hell for you as well as your family.
Let us consider how the film begins. It shows the protagonist and the antagonist watching a movie in a theatre where the hero beats up the villain and saves his damsel in distress. And then they break into some singing and dancing. There is a kiss scene between the two of them, which is censored, much to the disappointment of the audience watching the movie in a movie. And it made me wonder if Gitanjali Rao was throwing shade at the Censor Board of India, which has been infamous in the past for, well, censoring stuff and stifling the creative liberties of movie makers. Anyway, let's talk about the plot of Bombay Rose. It's about a poor girl called Kamla who sells flowers to make a living and has a younger sister Tara and an aging grandfather to take care of. She also has a few secrets up her sleeve which will cause some hiccups in her romance with a Kashmiri migrant boy called Salim, who also incidentally sells flowers on the streets of Bombay. The title is quite significant to the story. The love between Kamala and Salim blossoms as he starts giving her a rose every day. And some parts of the film is actually shot from the view of the rose, so you get a rosy point of view. Well, not really, that was just a bad joke. Well, the central love story is in the fashion of the classic Romeo-Juliet or Laila Majnu, except that they are not rich brats, and it's their faith that makes a romance between the two a thing that must be forbidden.
Stay away from the girl. She's not for you.
So yeah, the director attempts to go beyond the typical Bollywood romance and explores the aspirations of those living in the big city, especially the poor. The scenes alternate between two worlds, the first one being the reality of living in a cutthroat city where finding time for love is a luxury, while the other one is a dreamlike fantasy land, and Kamla and Salim are transported into scenes of idyllic paintings that are drawn in the styles of the famous Mughal miniature art. There's also another subplot involving a much older Miss Shirley D'Souza who teaches Kamala's little sister Tara English. Miss D'Souza seems to be stuck in a bygone era and she's always listening to songs of Guru Dutt and reminiscing about her past. How the lives of Miss Shirley D'Souza and Kamala are interwoven beyond the English classes are slowly revealed through the course of the story. Now I want to talk about the most important part of Bombay Rose, and that's the animation. If you are an animation enthusiast like me and loves watching animated films, shows, manga, the first thing you would notice is the slow pace of the animated motion. It's choppy and hazy for a lot of parts. And for those of us used to seeing intricate top-class animation work, visually, what happens in Bombay Rose is not very appealing. After I was done watching the film, I read up on it, as always, and found that the animation has been painted on computer frame by frame. So each scene is a painting in itself. Gitanjali Rao had a team of over 50 artists working on the art, and it took 18 months to make. And while that's applause-worthy, the resulting work is an inconsistent art style that shows on screen. For large parts, the animation is almost grainy, which makes the slow scenes test your patience as a viewer. The artwork is not detailed enough, so when the camera zooms in and stops for a few seconds on a certain still, you wonder why, because you're not seeing anything great. However, the scenes where the lead pair is transported to an alternate world, the animation is more detailed and the scenes are beautiful to look at. As a viewer, one really wishes that the quality of the animation could have been consistently that rich. So while half of it looks professional, the other half ends up looking a little amateurish. And not everybody who's watching this film on Netflix or wherever else on the internet is going to look up for details and then think, oh wow, that this was made by so many artists and that is applause worthy. No, most people are just gonna watch it like a regular film without knowing the kind of hard work that went to it. Which is why a lot of them are not going to be as impressed. And even the storytelling is not very gripping, although it is sprinkled with clever metaphors that I really enjoyed watching, like how the villain keeps shape-shifting to a hawk, symbolic of his opportunistic and predatory nature. Another example is when Kamala and Salim meet for the first time, the scene changes into a hunting ground with an arrow missing them by a hairbreadth. It's a literal allusion to the Cupid's arrow. Love has struck. And like I said a little earlier, the rose in itself is a character, and sometimes we see the city through the flower's eye, a bustling metropolis teeming with both the living and the dead. The strongest point of Bombay Rose is its soundtrack. Director Gitanjali Rao has handpicked some great Bollywood and Konkani numbers that will tickle your ears with delight and help hold your attention even when what's happening is not that interesting. As soon as I finished watching the film, I searched for the tracks I couldn't identify, and it led me to a beautiful Goan track called Red Rose by Lorna. And oh my god, the singer is an absolute diva. She sings with such great flair, and the song is about how boys try to woo her in Goa.
Maka chocolate adundi tai kon maka picture ka koi tai kon maka beshi japai tai kon maka poishe da koi tai.
Those were a few seconds from that song. And moving on, the voice actors have done a great job on this film, and there are actually some very big names on the credits like Anurag Kashyap, Gitanjali Kulkarni, Makrand Deshpande, Shishir Sharma, Amardeep Jha, among others. Their voices brings in a deep sense of reality that the animation is not able to match up. The story eventually gets mainstream in the end, despite the careful artistic approach of the maker. You have an almost absurd climax, absurd because it usually happens only in film and fiction. The climax is very typical and quite disappointing. Kamala gets a happy ending. Sort of, but one wonders if she really earned it. But well, that's basically every second Bollywood film for you. The protagonist always gets a neat ending, with things miraculously falling into place and working out for them. And then they fly away into the blue sky. Funnily for me, the subplot involving old Miss Shirley D'Souza felt more intriguing and moving. Her story invokes an old cinema talkies charm, filled with wistful nostalgia that'll tug at your heartstrings. The director, I think, should have chosen to focus on a fewer characters because cramming in too many themes usually makes a story weaker. And that's what happens to Bombay Rose. It's a flawed tribute to Indian cinema. Watch it if you're a patient viewer and a Bollywood fan. That's all on this episode. Talk to you in the next one.